Atomic cloud.
Yeah, well. You can start it right in the second if you want to.
Recording in progress.
All right, welcome everyone. It's now 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call to order the Fenton Township Board meeting on this Tuesday, the 7th day of October, 2025. I ask everyone to please stand for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Gold, will you lead us, please?
Heavenly Father, bless us as we gather here tonight. Help us nurture the bonds of our community. Guide us to make decisions in the best interest of the residents of the township. We pray for an end to the conflicts in the world. And we pray for our neighbors in Grand Blanc and all those affected by the tragedy that occurred. We ask these things in your most holy name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As always, thanks, Mark. Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Green,
Present.
Reed,
Here.
Clark,
Here.
Krug is present, Kessler,
Here.
Gopel, and Tucker's on Mackinac Island. Got something wrong with that. You have 6 members present.
All right, thanks, Bob. I'd like to know for the record that our Township Attorney Jack Belzer, our Operations Manager Tom Broker, our Zoning Administrator Mike Deem, our Fire Chief Ryan Bolts, and our Assessor Julia Wilson are also present this evening. Additionally, the following Township officials are present via Zoom. We have our Township Engineers Alan and Melissa Lawrence. Tom, will you detail the procedures for those attending tonight's virtual meeting?
Yes, to the members of the public attending tonight's meeting in person or via Zoom, please be advised the meeting is being recorded to be shown on Public Access TV, Spectrum Channel 191. Recorded meetings are also posted on the Fenton Area Community Television YouTube channel. For those attending via Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we reach portions of the meeting where public comment is allowed. For tonight's meeting, there are 2 public hearings for the crossings of Silver Ridge Street Lighting and Tory Ruth Channel Special Assessments, each of which will have public comment. All other public comment will be taken near the end of the meeting. Meeting materials are available for download on the Township's website at fentontownship.org.
Thanks, Tom. All right, moving on to the first business in order is to approve the agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? Hearing none, a motion is in order to approve the agenda as presented.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes, I vote yes. Clark,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker is absent, Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, agenda stands approved as presented. Moving on to the meeting minutes. Included in the packet are the meeting minutes of the September 16th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or requested revisions to these meeting minutes? All right, hearing none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Moving on to the next business order is expenditures. Are there any questions from the board regarding any of the invoices? All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion regarding the payment of expenditures totaling $911,893.67 for payment.
Support motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Reed,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Kessler,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes. Clark.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, expenditures stand approved as presented. Moving on to the next business order is public hearings. Tonight we have the Crossings of Silver Ridge Street Lighting Special Assessment District. This is the hearing on special assessment roll. This is a public hearing on the special assessment roll for the Crossings of Silver Ridge Street Lighting Special Assessment District. I'm sure we've all reviewed the memo in our packet. Tom, will you review the details?
Sure. At the last meeting, the board created the special assessment district and scheduled this hearing on the roll. And this is for the existing streetlights that were discovered to be not under special assessment district as originally intended. So the roll includes a per parcel assessment of $52.50 for the first year, which would be this December tax roll, which includes the recovery of township administrative costs, and the estimated amount per parcel per year, starting with next year, is $23.10. But we do review and adjust those amounts as needed on an annual basis, based on actual costs.
All right, thanks, Tom. Okay, the board will now accept public comment on the following. An individual's assessment in relation to the benefit received, the total cost of the project, and the validity of the proceedings to date. I will now open up the meeting for public comment. Is there anyone here in attendance that would like to address the board on the crossings of Silver Ridge Street Lighting Special Assessment? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to Zoom. Is there anyone attending via Zoom that would like to address the board? Just unmute, wave your hand. Hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from the board? All right, resolution number 2025-44. Clerk Crew, will you please present the resolution?
It confirms special assessment roll number 2025-07 as the assessment roll for the crossings of Silver Ridge Street Lighting Special Assessment District. Establish annual installments in the roll, each due and payable on December 1st. Assigns a 1% per month penalty for late payments, directs the clerk to deliver the special assessment roll with warrant attached to the treasurer, directs the treasurer to collect the special assessments, repeals any conflicting resolutions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion regarding the adoption of resolution number 2025-44 as presented.
So move.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent. Lorraine,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
resolution passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, next under public hearings is the Tory Ruth Channel Improvement Special Assessment District. This is the hearing of necessity. Operations Manager Broker, will you review? And I guess we have some written comments.
Yes. So at the last meeting, the board adopted a resolution to initiate, excuse me, I gotta get another cough drop going here.
'Tis the season.
Yeah. To initiate proceedings to establish a special assessment district to clean out the channel on Lake Fenton that's near the intersection of Torrey Road and Ruth Drive, and schedule this public hearing. So the total estimated cost, based on a proposal obtained by property owners, plus an estimated cleanup cost, is $125,810, including township admin costs. We did receive one written objection. It's in your packet, from a property owner explaining his reasons why he was opposed to it. We have received no other written objections, up prior to the hearing.
All right, thanks, Tom. All right, the board will now accept public comment on the following: the creation of the special assessment district, the proposed boundaries of the district, the necessity of the improvement, the plans for the improvement, and the cost estimates for the improvement. I will now open up for public comment. Is there anyone that would like to address the board on the Tory Ruth Channel improvement? Yes, sir. Can you mind coming up and just state your name?
Hi there. John Kleinert. We live at 12085 Torrey Road, and we're one of the homes involved. Just wanted to voice our support for the project. Since we purchased our house in 2015, we've watched the mouth of the channel close with sediment and different things washing in from the lake. And it gets very, very, obviously the lake is low now this time of year anyhow, but it's a significant hindrance to even some of our neighbors who can't even dock a boat at their dock currently because the muck is so deep that nothing will even float there. So I'm concerned that it's going to get worse over time, and I'm also concerned that some of us are unable to have a boat or the boat that we might want because it's so shallow there that makes it impassable for a lot of different types of boats. And so I'm kind of hoping that this goes through so that we can open it up and everybody can maybe have a hoist even if they want, instead of just, we're not able to build our dock out to where it's deep enough to put a boat in like a lot of people on the lake are. So it's important that we were able to have our boat and dock it for the entirety of the summer season and not have to pull it out early because it gets so shallow that it's on land. So, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is there anybody else here in attendance that would like to address the board? Only on this matter. Yes, sir. Same thing, if you just come up and state your name.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
My name is Dave Brown. I also live on the channel, a couple houses down from John. And I agree with John as far as we need to support the dredging. I'm one of the people that can't even park a boat on my dock because what happens is that when the current comes in there, the seaweed and the muck and stuff kind of collect on my dock. And I only have 3 inches of water in front of my dock. And for me to extend on, if I did extend on, the people behind me couldn't even get out on the channel, so it's not feasible for me to extend on to get a boat in the water. I currently don't have a boat, so I'm lucky there, but obviously living on the lake would like to get one. My second issue is the water level. I know the Lake Fenton Property Association says that the lake's only technically 3 inches low right now because it's only 3 inches below the weir, because I listened to the Lake Fenton Property Association meeting, and last week they said it's only, I know we all think it's 18 to 20 inches low, right? And from the high water line, it's definitely that low, but from the water level that they're wanting to control, which I don't understand how it come up with that low, is only 3 inches low. And that's ridiculous because it's way too low. And what I think happened, and I could be wrong, but this is what I think happened, is if you remember a few years ago, the lake was a little bit high. And a lot of the houses that got put on properties that should have never had a house put on them, their basements and stuff started flooding, so they started calling Channel 12 News, and they were on Channel 12 News, and then the Genesee County kind of said, oh, we're gonna lower the level, and they lowered the weirs, and they cleaned out the damage, and now the lake level's been low ever since. And it's been low, and I understand it's a drought this year. I understand people water, people taking water out of the lake, stuff like that, but it's extremely low. I think we need to really think about bringing the weirs back up to a more realistic level. The houses on our channel are all 70, 80-year-old houses, right? And we can't use our channel anymore. Now we're responsible for cleaning it out. The second big issue that I have a real concern with is why do we keep letting people fill sand in this lake? I don't understand why any permit gets to put sand in the lake. And we had the neighbor across the street, he agreed, and he might even be here, I don't know, across the channel from us, that he should have never did it, but he was told that the sand would sink and he wanted a nice beach out there. So he called Eagle, he got a permit, everything was cool. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not even blaming, I'm blaming him, but I'm not saying that he knew, because the company told him the sand sinks. But we were all there, and we can tell you that sand come right around and filled up the channel, and now we have a huge island that's closing off this channel. So this guy put sand in the lake, which we're saying shouldn't, you should never allow sand to go in a lake. It's a lake, why are we putting sand in here? It's just crazy to me. And is there a way we can get this kind of stuff stopped, right? Now, it's 90 feet out there. We asked the guy, is there any way that we could, it's muck on the bottom or whatever, could he take it out and dump it in the water? Of course, he said, no way, Eagle's gonna allow you to do that. And I understand it's a spring-fed lake and you don't really wanna dump it in the middle of the lake. But the next problem is there's only 2 properties on this channel that allow, so I don't know if you guys have seen the process or not, you got to see it on YouTube, but they bring this big rototiller and they rototiller it up, and it hulls, and then it goes into these big blue bags. And this bag has to sit there for 3 to 6 months while it dries out. Then you have to have somebody come and get it. There's only 2 properties on the channel that allow this bag to set, and one of them's mine, okay? So, and the other one is across the street. The other one that's across the street is one of the objections. If we can't get him on board to allow that bag there, this whole thing's dead anyways. Right? If I don't allow it and he don't allow it, there's no place to put the dirt. Right? So, that's kind of a big issue. I don't know if you can force somebody to allow somebody to put a bag on there. I don't think you can. Right? So, so we have one guy that if he doesn't come to the table and help support this, that he could kill this whole thing, right? So we need to try to figure out some kind of solution, you know, as far as where we can put this stuff like it drains and then does the dirt, you know. But I guess I'm asking for you guys' support on anything we can do to stop, you know, new sand in the lake and, you know, different stuff to look at to improve this lake, you know, bringing that water level back up, you know, to approve all these older houses. I'm sorry, these people built in the swamp and their basements are flooding. If you build in the swamp and your basement floods, don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? And I know that one house, anybody that's been on this lake for years knows the house I'm talking about. That house was, that area was always flooded. Then they put a house there and then they start complaining because they put a house there. They should have planned on extra sump pumps or whatever to take care of it, you know? So I'm on a little bit of a griping session here, I understand, but it's really frustrating that I live on this lake, pay these high taxes, and I can't even have a boat on this lake. It's really frustrating.
Thank you. Good evening.
I'm Judy Brown, Dave's wife. I live at 12107 Torrey Road. The home that we live in was my parents' before that. It's been in my family for 51 years. My husband and I bought it 15 years ago. And previous to that, we lived on Margaret Drive on the open water. We chose Torrey Road because it was a bigger lot and better parking, if you're familiar with Margaret Drive, and it was more comfortable. It's a little more peaceful on the weekends when the lake gets busy. I've never seen the channel so bad. 51 years I've been on that lake, and I've never seen it so bad. We wouldn't have been able to park a boat this entire season. We're paying taxes as Lake Fenton property owners. We can't use the lake. You know, a lot of people would say, boo-hoo, so sorry. But something needs to be done. That lake and the condition of it, my husband has pictures, if you'd like to see, where the water line is across the channel from us. And it's white, and it's probably 2 foot lower at this point than it was at a healthy level. Anymore, when you have sand coming in like that, and it's coming in with that current, I talked to Eagle the day that that person had a sand beach put in their property and said, I took a video, and that is not heavy sand. It's following the current of the water, and it's starting to block off my channel. He said he is in within legal rights. Legal rights, he paid to have that sand put in, and previous owners have too. I've seen it happen a number of times. This was the last time that made it that much worse. So he pays to put the channel, or the sand in, and we have to pay to have it removed? That makes no sense to me. So, it's said to us that you want us taking it out, we'll pay for it, we're assessed for it, that's fine and great. It sits on my property for 6 months. Can you imagine what that smell is gonna be like? The deterioration of my property? I won't be able to sell that home like that if I wanted to. I don't. I love my home. But you see what I'm saying? This is a really bad situation. If it doesn't get taken care of, you're going to have 12 homeowners who are no longer Lake Fenton property owners. So the taxes will have to get reassessed. I don't think that's a real smart idea either. If something isn't done for this lake, in the 51 years that I've been seeing everything that's happening, including, I could go into the LFPOA all day long, them and their fireworks. Do you know what that does to the wildlife inhabitants? Do you know what it does to the fish? To the deer that are across the street from me on Torrey? It's no good. So if we don't start paying attention to our environment, we're not going to have it. I care about this lake. I love that water. I love that lake. It's not a good situation, but by all means, if you'd like to see, ask David for his pictures that he took, and I think it'll floor you. I think it'll be a huge eye-opener.
Thanks, Judy.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you, Judy. Is there anyone else in attendance that would like to address the board? Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Victor Shepard Jr. I live in Ada, Michigan. I'm here this evening representing my 87-year-old father who lives at 2496 Root Drive. I wanted to give you the board a letter that validates that fact that I'm speaking on his behalf. Because I don't have enough for everyone, I apologize. I'll read the letter into the record. Dear Fenton Township Board and Mr. Krug, I'm a lifelong resident of Fenton Township, and I have resided at the above address for over 58 years, which is 2496 Root Drive. He has lived within 1 mile of this address for 87 years. His family's been here for well over 100 years. They were one of the founding groups that founded Fenton Township. It used to be called Shepherd's Corners across from the school. My father and his grandfather built the school, built the church as you know it today, Lake Fenton United Methodist Church. So he has history, to say the least. My property represents over 164 feet on the south side of the proposed Torrey Channel Improvement Project. I'm unable to attend the public hearing for comments and do therefore appoint my son, Victor Shepard Jr., to speak on my behalf and notify the board that I do not support this project. He is, I think he's concerned, well, I know he's very concerned about the process. He was not notified that anything was going on. And to the best of his knowledge and our knowledge, there's never been a study done regarding what needs to be done on this. There is no official petition that has been signed and or submitted to the Township Board. And so I question what right the board has to bring this to a special assessment hearing under that point. No information as to the proposed cost, timeline, or anything has ever been given to my father. He has no idea. He's heard through hearsay that it is multiple numbers, and it doesn't include everything, it includes part of it. He also understands that the quote was, the parameters of the quote and the specifications were submitted by some homeowners. I'm clearly not questioning the homeowners, and I do agree with some of them because there were previous people that just dumped into the other side of the channel. But the fact of the matter is, for the township to have a special assessment based on something that was represented, and it could be more, it could be less, I think clearly he is concerned with that. He does not support that. There's been no official meetings or discussions other than this letter he received today. There's been no EGLE involvement, and as you know, he had a gas station up there, so he understands the involvement of EGLE in far as what would happen regarding here. There's a significant amount of wildlife. He's lived there for 58 years. He enjoys it. He's 87 years old, so he doesn't get out a lot, and he enjoys watching it. And he's concerned that there's been no wildlife study regarding what the impact would be of dredging 3 foot of a channel where there are significant wildlife and turtles that live and that reside. There's been no environmental study, so consideration needs to be paid to that. He personally doesn't see a need. He doesn't. He believes that he's been in and out of the channel. Yeah, it's shallow at points, but it's always been shallow at points, and it never was, surprising enough to anybody here, in 1949 when that channel dug, that channel was never designed to be a part of Lake Fenton. Interesting enough, it was designed as a watering platform for shore acres, and over the years it was dug out more and more and more. Today I understand that it is part of the community. I totally understand that. My father's on a fixed income. He has lived there. He has no means for other income to support additional taxes and things like that. So he's concerned about what would happen, as well as his neighbors across the channel. They have 222 feet. He has 164 feet. They oppose each other. They are on opposite, looking at each other. He's on the south side, they're on the north side, the waters. He will not, if this is approved, will allow access through his property to the channel, nor will he allow the storage of any, I think they call the word spoils or whatever, I don't know what it's called, but he's not interested in any of that. He just has no desire to introduce into that. So he 87 years old, he doesn't feel that there's a need. He's not on side. He feels the process has been kept from him and hidden from him, and there's been no formal agreement. The only thing he's ever been introduced is someone came to his house and asked him to sign a document that says that they're gonna get a bid. That's all he knows about it. So I appreciate your time. I thank you. Please make your decision wisely.
Great job, Victor, and again, a lot of the questions that you have, I think I'll be addressing in a minute, so.
Mr.
but-
Supervisor,
Thank you.
this constitutes a written objection from Mr. Shepherd. This combined with one already received exceeds 20% of the land area of the total proposed district. Therefore, the special assessment process cannot proceed now unless the property owners were to submit a petition containing signatures of over 50% of the land area.
Thank you, Tom. So what we're gonna do is if someone else wants to speak, that's fine. This is something I was planning on doing anyway. I am not going to bring this to a vote tonight. We have, as a board, the right to initiate a special assessment district. We do. It's rarely used, but we do have that authority to do that. However, in cases like this, when you're talking about property owners being assessed $10,000, I would like to see a petition. And again, I will let Tom go over the rules of the petition, but in no case would I be in favor of voting. I understand all your concerns about access to the lake and everything else. And again, I don't, and I'm not gonna address all your questions, but as far as, the water level and all of that stuff is not controlled by the township, and I won't get into a lot of that. And I think as you go on, but like eagle permits and all of that, that's all gonna be required through this process. But at this point right now, I'm going to state that we're not gonna move forward with this. And those that are interested in doing this, I am going to recommend that you get a petition. They can pick up a petition here at the township, Tom, correct?
Absolutely.
With the language, and then you could go around and get your signatures. Tom, I know it's 50% plus one, or
It's over
50%.
Over 50.
And then it still has to come back to the board. And again, the board is not going to bring it up tonight. I'm not gonna call a vote on it. I just don't think it's the right process for, again, you're asking your neighbors to pay $10,000 for something, and this board, I think would agree with me. I'm not interested in initiating any type of special assessment on any of our residents for $10,000 without the majority of those residents wanting that. So, I'll open it up for board comment.
Is there any way they can make him exempt? The gentleman that doesn't want to participate?
No, because he would benefit from the project,
Exactly.
so no. All right, we're gonna move on. So, again, I'm not gonna ask anybody to come up and address or ask questions. All I'm saying is that in order for this project to move forward, you are going to have to come to the township, get a petition, and then you'd have to get the requirement of over 50% of the residents. And again, that's only to bring it back to the board, and then the board would discuss it at that time.
We can pick up the township from Thomas.
Tom?
Petition, from Thomas, and when can we do that?
If you hang around to the end of the meeting, it's already done on the computer. I can print one out before you leave tonight if you want.
Yeah, I can come back tomorrow and pick up.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yep, I'll do that.
And again, I hope you all understand the reason why. We're talking, it's not like a $23 lighting special assessment district you're gonna pay every year. This is a very expensive, and, this petition will require you to talk to your neighbors. And, if the majority of them feels that it's something they wanna move forward with, then the board will be able to look at it at that time. All right.
Julie's got a question.
Who has a question?
Julia.
Oh, sorry, Julia. Is there something?
It's just basically towards the residents. I'm the assessor for Fenton Township. No one has come to me regarding this issue of the low water level that would impact your valuation. If this issue is not fixed by December 31st, report, and I will go out there on my own anyways. If you're not being able to use water there right now, there should be a reason.
Thanks, Julia. Well, I do want to thank Dave, John, Jody, and Victor.
The law doesn't allow us to go back to the 10 to conformance prior.
All right, we're going to move on. Moving on to the next business order is, that time of year. We're going to move on to reports. We do have 3 reports this evening. First one is the Fire Department third quarter report. We have our Fire Chief, Ryan Bolts, here. Good evening.
Everyone's got the scratchy voice going on. This is our third quarter report for 2025 for Fenton Township. As requested at the last quarterly report, they wanted the sheet that's saved at the end that identifies what category is and what falls in each category. So when I go down through the list, I can zigzag back and forth. So we've had 6 fires, 65 medicals, 13 hazardous incidents, 21 service calls, 71 good intent calls, and 19 false alarms for a total of 195 alarms for Fenton Township. Including in those are the Tyrone Township calls. There were 4 medicals, 2 service calls, and 4 good intent calls for a total of 10 calls.
Do you want to talk about anything else?
Yes, I would like to bring up the incident in Grand Blanc. On September 28th, we had an event that pretty much unwound and was way out of the ordinary for our responders to respond to. We had a total of 4 apparatus and 10 firefighters respond to the incident in Grand Blanc Township. They went there at approximately 10:32 in the morning, and they cleared at 6:07 in the evening. So they're there all day. It was dispatched out as a active shooter and a potential fire inside the church. I don't know any of you here sitting on this panel that would get up and run to the fire station and go hop on a truck and drive to that. I was fortunate to be in Lansing with my family at my daughter's lacrosse meet, and it all kind of unwound while we're sitting there. My wife asked if we wanted to go home so I could be home. I'm like, one person isn't going to change the outcome. It was a group effort. I think all of our firefighters and officers that responded did what they were trained to do. They helped out our neighboring community with any assistance they needed. We had our utility there, one of our rescues, and 2 of our engines. 3 officers and 7 firefighters. And they used every bit of them that they could, whether they're doing traffic, fighting fire, helping with patients, whatever they did. It was a pretty catastrophic event. The aftermath that I heard about and the reports that I got from people was pretty intense. So something, again, you don't deal with every day. But I just wanted to make you guys aware that we had 10 members of our department from our township to go to help them out. At no time was our township left uncovered. We had mutual aid departments covering our area, while our responders, they were shifting all the way from Oakland County all the way up to Saginaw County and shifting departments back and forth to help us out. So, pretty big deal, pretty unfortunate event. It's pretty sad when stuff like this happens. But our people went to the call and did what they were supposed to. I'm going to probably get some merit awards for them 10 individuals that went, something we haven't ever done. Because again, it was an active shooter incident that they responded to. I think it's over and above, especially for a neighboring community, that I'd like to show the support with our board and issue those at a board meeting.
Absolutely.
So,
any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, comment. Chief, I'm gonna leave this up to you, because we're not gonna micromanage you, but with the 10, maybe I would suggest that if they haven't already, all 10 of them, make them go to GIS.
we are gonna set one up with the county with GIS, and they will be coming to
And maybe make
training.
it mandatory.
It will be mandatory.
Okay, thank you. there. I understand county's got different resources, but, I mean,
I was already planning on it. We could include our township deputies in
well, I
with
would
that group.
just, and again, I've kinda done this for a minute myself, same line of work, so I guess I would really encourage, whether they think they need it or not, I would encourage every deputy that was there, make it mandatory, you know, it's 2 hour class, it doesn't make sense if you have to, but.
We have done the debriefings since the Quazaranos incident.
That's the
And
last time?
No, we have done them since then.
Okay.
So we make it, we do peer-to-peer, we check them out.
This is just for their well-being.
Absolutely.
This isn't for anything, litigious or any,
Nope. It could dig something else up.
These are volunteers in the
Yes.
community. They don't deal with this every day.
Nope.
Understand deputies more so. But I mean, you know, again, the times that were there, they never seen anything like that. They, how I haven't seen anything like that. Right.
Well, my first problem was when they came back, they said, well, it was just a fire. I'm like, you're missing the point.
Yeah. And
So-
again, you know, if they were professionals, that their entire career was that type of work, I would understand there's different resources. But since it's not, we're not, maybe, and just keep an ear open for anything that might be out of the ordinary
Mhm.
for their own sake.
Well, you know as well as I do with over 30-plus years in this business, that stuff builds up. And it creates the PTSD that we call the ticking time bomb effect. And you can go off with one small thing could set you off. And it's one of the things we're working on in public safety to take care of, so, even the military.
Just looking out for our people.
Absolutely.
Chief,
And I will report to the Public Safety Committee on that as well.
Chief, I strongly suggest exactly what Mark is recommending, so I think that it should be a mandatory amendment. I really do.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, is there any other questions?
Objection with that, Jack?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Again, this is for them.
Yes.
And they should be compensated for attending that,
Absolutely.
just as if they were.
A normal training.
Yep, absolutely. Just make sure they all know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, second one is the ordinance enforcement third quarter report. We've all reviewed the report that was in our packet. Are there any questions from the board? If not, oh, I'm sorry.
My only question would be to Jack, is there anything we need to know about the tickets that are currently at district court? Or are they fairly routine?
No, they're pretty routine. Mr. Shaw is real good about doing all that. He always shows up for court, and he has up-to-date photographs with everything. Very helpful. No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Good.
I mean, nothing you wanna have next to you a lot of times on some of these ordinance enforcement things, but yeah, no, nothing out of the ordinary.
Great, thank you.
That was a great question. Any other questions or concerns? All right, our final report tonight is from our zoning administrator. It's our zoning administrator report for September.
Yeah, we'll do a quick summary here. Planning Commission, they were reviewing the keeping of animals ordinance amendments relating to the keeping of chickens and ducks. A public hearing has been scheduled for October 23rd. And following that, they may make a recommendation, they may not. We'll see what kind of comments we get, and they'll make a determination based off of that. Had the following Planning Commission meeting, we had a rezoning request that was postponed for more information. We had a classic car dealership that's all internal, that was approved. And then we had some follow-up discussion on Ruffey Ranch Retreat. They finally have some of their county approvals, so they're gonna work on getting their site fully into compliance with their approved plan. We talked last time about the Parks and Rec open house. I think the two other things of note on here that you should be aware of, last year you approved the codification of the general ordinances, and we're moving forward with that. We had a meeting with staff and Civic Plus to review where we are in the process. We're getting really close. Once that's complete, we'll bring it back and we'll have like a workshop with you guys to go over all the changes that are in there. Not a lot of major changes, a lot of minor things, clarifications, and summaries in there. And then the other project to talk about was the Hogan Road Boat Launch Project, working with the Keepers of the Shiawassee. We've gone out for bid, and the bids came in 5 times higher than anticipated. So, it's not in front of you guys. We're working with Row Engineering to review the bid documents. We think there may have been some timing issues timing constraints on the bid that was put out there that may have been the cause for the increase in cost. So we're reevaluating that and likely go out to bid again with a better timeline that will help reduce cost on that.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions or comments from the board? I guess just one question I have is, are these reports useful? I mean, sometimes we always wondered about them. We're now having them come and do that. I just want to make sure it's something that the board still would like to see happen. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Sorry, man, but we like it.
Are there any committee reports to be made to the board this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to communications. This evening we have none. All right, moving on to adoption of ordinances. The first one is proposed group health insurance plan ordinance. This is the introduction and the first reading. Our operations manager, Broker, will you please review?
Yes, so the current group healthcare insurance ordinance that we have in the books was originally adopted in 1995, was last amended in 2013, but is in need of updating again. So included for board consideration is a revised version of the ordinance. Significant changes are updating language related to coverage eligibility because it simply was outdated, didn't have all the current positions in it. And also language to incorporate the township's existing section 125 plan into the ordinance as well. So it's modeled after language provided by the Michigan Townships Association, and it's very similar to the other ordinances we already have on the books that are up to date for other insurance and benefit plans. I did have Attorney Belzer review it, and he indicated it was good to go.
Thanks, Tom. All right, I will now open up for public comment. Is there anyone here in person that would like to address the board just on the proposed group health insurance plan ordinance? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on to Zoom. Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to address the board just on the group health insurance plan? All right, I will now close public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, the second reading of the proposed ordinance will be conducted at our October 21st board meeting. All right, moving on to unfinished business. This evening we have none. New business. This is the proposed hiring of the Fenton Township Fire Department. Fire Chief Bolts will review.
Another good thing to have another new hire. I think out of the last 10 months, we've hired 6.
How many we lost?
We've lost 3. So proposed hiring for the fire department, Thomas Kohler. He's a Fenton Township resident. He's successfully completed the pre-employment screenings and will be an excellent addition to our department. And I request that the board approves his hiring tonight.
Thanks, Chief. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, I'll entertain a motion regarding the hiring of Thomas Kohler as a member of the Fenton Township Fire Department.
Support motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Kurd, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Gopal,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Lorraine,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
I vote yes, Reed,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right.
Thank you.
And we
And
have Mr. Kohler
He
here.
is here tonight if Tom would like to
Yeah, Tom's
swear him
gonna
in.
sign you in.
Him and his son are both here.
I, Thomas Kohler,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
faithfully execute the duties
faithfully execute the duties
of firefighter for Fenton Township,
of firefighter of Fenton Township,
to selflessly serve
to selflessly serve
citizens of Fenton Township
the citizens of Fenton Township
with respect, dedication, and integrity,
with respect, dedication, and integrity,
and to uphold the mission
and to uphold the mission
of the Fenton Township Fire Department,
of the Fenton Township Fire Department,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
Congratulations.
Chief, gotta shake his hand.
Shirt on. One last thing, October 25th is our 50th anniversary for the fire department. It'll be held at Station 2 from 1 to 5. Bring your kids, your grandkids, your family, come on out, have a hot dog, a Kogel's hot dog on the fire department. We'll have all our equipment there. We'll be doing extrication. We'll have a smoked up room for the kids to crawl through, all kinds of stuff to do. So we're kind of excited about it. It's 50 years and I've been with the department for 28, so I'm kind of excited. So.
Are we gonna expose our new fire truck?
Oh, I hope so. It went in for paint yesterday, so the new aerial's getting painted.
Any update on ETA?
Well, I've been sending pictures I sent a couple to Tom, and I sent some to Mark, and I'll send some to you tomorrow. Probably another 4 to 5 weeks. So it's getting there. The chief vehicle has been built. It's sitting on the lot north of here, waiting for a delivery truck to send it to Canavers. So as soon as we get that there, that'll be ready to go. The stickers have been removed from the Tahoe, so we're gonna get that posted and listed on Municipid. We'll probably start that about the $10,000 range. So we'll get that on Municipid and get that out for auction. So.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
All right. Next under new business is appointments to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals. We've all reviewed the memo in the packet. We do have our zoning administrator here. Mike, why don't you just go over all three at the same time and we'll move right into motions.
I think many of you have had experience with the zoning board, right? We have a great zoning board of appeals. As I've said before, if every community had a zoning board of appeals like we do, I'd probably still be a consultant. So we have Jim Cady, who is the chair, actually runs a great meeting. Michelle Spear, who is the secretary, same. And then we have Casey Barron. Recommendation is all three get reappointed. I think we were talking about having Jim as a 2-year appointment, the way how it will equally stagger the appointments to the zoning board. So we have, I believe it's 2 for each year.
Right now, we have 3 expiring this year, 3 next year, and then none in '27. And so the idea is reappoint 1 for 2 years this year. Next year, reappoint 2 of them for 3 years and 1 for 1 year. And then you have 2 expiring in '27 and then 2 every year from thereafter with 3-year terms.
All right, thanks, Mike. Any questions or comments from the board? Now we'll move right on to the motions. I will entertain a motion regarding the reappointment of Casey Barron to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals for the term ending November 30th, 2028.
Support a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, Gopel.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thanks, Bob. All right, next I'll entertain a motion regarding the reappointment of Michelle Spear to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals for the term ending November 30th, 2028.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Tucker's absent, Lorraine,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion passes.
Next, I'll entertain a motion regarding the reappointment of James Cady to the Fenton Township Zoning Board of Appeals for the term ending November 30th, 2027.
Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Krug, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Lorraine,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker's absent, I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Motion passes. Well, for someone that sat on the zoning board of appeals for probably 4 or 5 years, I served on with 2 of them, and we're lucky to have all 3 of them back. So they do a great job. All right, moving on to the next business order, which is board comment. Is there anyone on the board who has additional comments or concerns? Tom, I was going to ask you, I was thinking about bringing up the handbook. I know in the past you've done it. Should I wait till the next meeting? I was gonna ask the board for approval to send that out to have it redone. I don't know when the last time we've had actually a firm that specializes in handbooks take a look at it. I didn't wanna say anything, but
The employee handbook?
yes.
Oh, okay. It was last updated 5 or 6 years ago, I think.
6 years ago. Can I bring it up now and just?
Sure.
I'd just like to bring it up now. It's just, I had a conversation with Mike, and I think you and I, Tom, talked about it. And I guess it's been, the practice in the past is, Tom is certainly good enough to do the job, but as a business owner, every year, I set aside in my budget a certain amount of money to have my employee handbook reviewed. The state laws, everything about them change all the time. And again, you can give some input if you'd like, Jack. I feel uncomfortable not having it reviewed at least every other year. I would recommend every year. It's not that expensive if you do it every year, rather than waiting 4 or 5 years to have it done. Not that Tom can't do it, but I just believe maybe we could have some, what's your thoughts, Jack?
No, I think that's a good idea. You might want to have Attorney Sinonis, as a labor attorney, look at a lot of that too, because that's mostly what that is.
Well, there was so much every year that changed in my handbook because things change all the time, whether it's just, the language from PTO. I remember there wasn't even anything called PTO. And then all of a sudden, I looked at my handbook and it was a PTO. So I just feel that not having it reviewed for 5 years, I think it's something that we should consider doing. I won't bring it up this time. I just wanted to talk to the board about it in an open meeting. And what I'll do is I'll have Tom talk to you, Jack, and maybe you can make a recommendation. I know who I've used in the past. I really don't care. We can put it out for bid, whatever you'd like to do, but I'd like to bring it to the board at the next meeting and ask the board to do that. Any other?
I have a question. I don't know if this makes reference to you guys or to Mike, but when selecting the people on the ZBA, I mean, I know it's not a public official. They're elected by us apparently, but how do we qualify these people? Is it by their status? I mean, how do we find out what knowledge they have? Because I've been in front of a lot of boards, and a lot of them have no idea what the hell's going on. And I just wonder, are we selecting the right people? I'm not saying we're not, but I'm just saying, what's the process of selecting these people? Is it just by name, or is it, how do we do this?
Well, I think originally they were appointed after advertising, because these all go back quite a ways.
Oh, a long time.
There was a time where, hey, we need people, we don't know who to appoint, so we advertised for applicants, people would apply, and then they got interviewed, and that's how they got
Okay,
selected.
so we do the interview process.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can remember when I went on, the supervisor, clerk, and I think office manager, interviewed me and a couple others, and then there was a second interview when they thought they really wanted you, where they delved deeper into what do you bring, things like that. Are you an active community member? Or at the time I was on the school board, so it's not just, oh, I like the way that person looks today.
And I've also been, as supervisor, I've been, the last time I came with a couple of names, I thought Mike was in the best position to interview those at that time, and I had Mike interview them. He came back. The one that I thought would be best, Mike didn't agree with that, and so I went with what Mike, they work with Mike more than they do me, so that's part of the process also. But it always ends up back here anyway, and again, we should do our due diligence.
Sure.
But I believe that, like anything else, the separation, I think that Mike, depending on if it's ZBA or planning, that Mike should be very involved in that process, making sure that he qualifies them, and I'm sure he doesn't want anybody on any committee that he doesn't think brings something to the table.
Yeah, so I think the most recent time was probably 23. We interviewed about 20 people, because we had openings on both the zoning board and the planning commission, and narrowed it down and went over with the best candidates with Vince, and then recommendations were made to the board. Things that we look for, right? It's supposed to be exactly how it's written there, but it's supposed to cover all aspects of life in the township, right? So it shouldn't just be real estate agents or just engineers, it should be a little bit of everyone, right? And so that's what we look for. And then once they're on, we provide them with training. There are resources, whether it's through MTA, through the Michigan Association of Planners. We have online training opportunities, and we pass those along, make sure everyone's up to date. We just bought new zoning books for the zoning board members, right? So they can stay up to date on new court cases and whatnot, and they have their updated handbook.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure there's a process versus just, oh, I like this guy, the way he looks or something, and then we just.
Kinda like how we get on the board.
Exactly,
Oh.
exactly.
I mean, some of it is people not stepping back out of line fast enough, and I catch them, right? But, we do try and, when there's openings, right, we let people know, and, it's.
It's a good board.
Yeah.
Who's our rep? Okay, well, you get tired of it, then throw him, give it a shot. I did it for 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good for all of us to actually see, honestly, yeah, it's a good board.
And that's how I originally started working with the township as well, is there was an opening, and I applied, and went through an interview process as well.
Well, and I'm not just saying this because it's the Fenton Township Board and I'm part of that board, but I've been here for 16, whatever years. And this board does everything right, Bill. It really honestly does. I mean, the passion that everybody that sits up here, they care. And I think processes that we have put together, the processes, the staffing that we have, I mean, how many townships do you know that, you have people working here that have been here for 25, 30 years? The residents of Fenton Township are very lucky. They really are. And I'm one of those residents, so. But there is a good process, just to answer your question.
Yeah, no, I was just kinda concerned because, like I said, I've been in front of a lot of planning commissions, I've been in front of ZBAs, and it's like, really? It's like, where did these guys come from? So I just wanna make sure we're not in that, that level.
Go sit at one of the ZBA or the planning
Yeah.
here.
Ask Jack about other boards.
Yeah, right.
All right. Any other board comment, concerns?
Since I had a comment on the handbook.
Yes.
I'd like to blend that with the fire department handbook, so it's a little bit more coincides with that.
You'll probably have your own separate, but I'll let the attorneys, Jack and I can talk, Tom and I can talk tomorrow. And again, I didn't, it's nothing about Tom, nothing, I just think that having legalized on a handbook, I looked at a couple of paragraphs and I thought, ooh, boy, that's, yeah. So, we'll get it done, and, we'll bring it back. So, any other, board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to, public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board on agenda or a non-agenda item? Anybody here that's present? Yes, ma'am, come on up. Can you come up and just kind of give us your name?
Hi, Mary Ward, and a question for you. If you are building a pool on the lake, right on the lake, Fenton Lake, do you have to publish a permit that we know that the owner and the builder got a permit? Is that required?
Anyone that builds a pool here, to answer your question, yes, they are required in the township to pull a permit. Our zoning administrator's there, he can probably give you more details.
Do they have to show the permit on the property?
Mike?
Yeah, it's supposed to go with the permit. Okay, so pool been built on Davis, I live on Davis, and there is nothing to indicate that this pool has been approved or anything.
It wouldn't be the first time, but it's really kind of hard to get something by our great team, so we usually end up finding out about it. If you don't mind, for the record, if you could just give me the address of the property or your address, since it's close.
Okay, mine's 2497. I'm all the way at the very end of Davis, right on the lake. This house is about 8 houses down from the beginning of the street on the lake. You can't miss it because
Do you know that one, Mike?
I don't know the name.
Is it right next to the big blue house?
Yeah, yeah.
Have they pulled a permit?
They do.
Yep, they do.
But I thought they were supposed to show it or something.
All right, thanks, Mary. Anybody else that would like to address the board on agenda, non-agenda items?
The actual fighting department's 50th anniversary is the 22nd of October, we're just holding it.
Okay. Anybody else here that's in attendance? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to Zoom. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items? If so, unmute.
Don did make a comment in the chat, talking about, how good planning commission is going with us, and we tend to let meetings to the Zoom.
Okay.
I got a good idea.
But there's no Zoom comment. All right, nobody on Zoom that would like to address the board? If not, I will, close, public hearing on that, and it's now, did you wanna speak before?
Yeah, I was just wondering, Ryan, when we did the ladder truck, do you think having the supervisor climb to the top for like charity or some fundraiser?
Already discussed it.
Have we? Okay, cool.
I thought we were climbing the water tower.
Well, I thought we were
Why
too.
under
but-
that?
Yeah, where's the old?
We are, we still,
He's waiting till snow and ice, and then he
I
no,
filed a
it's
motion-
been, I think the county's been busy, and I still plan on doing it, but more than likely, I'll talk to Melissa, but I'll wait till spring.
I'll file a motion to approve that.
I'll probably wait till spring. We could do that, we could do them both at the same time. Maybe I could jump from the tower on the ladder.
You have all the rigging.
I'll pledge
Already
$10.
on the tower for that.
All right, it is now 7:30 exactly, 7:30 PM. If there's nothing else, I say good night, and the meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.